And at the beginning of lockdown in the UK, so early 2020, I came across your song Heaven Symphony.
Yeah.
And I think I listened to it on loop when I went on prayer walks for days, because I think it really hits for me. I mean, so many things, but it hits two big things in our world today. I think it speaks about identity. I'll read some of the lyrics just now, but also about sovereignty, about God being in charge. And, just if you like the chorus where you, I won't try and sing it, I'm terrible.
Come on, mate. Come on.
No chance. Where you say, come sing over me, Heaven Symphony. I want to hear you speak. I'm listening. Make your heart for me my favorite melodies. That's an identity thing. I want to hear what God says of me. I want to hear what God says is true. I want to hear what, he's speaking over me. And then, other verses go on when you say, help me to know that you're in control. You know everything. And I think the world's been shaken, so many aspects. I know you're in the States. Currently, it's political upheaval. There's been racial upheaval, and you've probably experienced that at various phases of life. And then just generally, the world's telling us what we should think about ourselves, what we should find value in the whole time. So your song has been kind of a shot in the arm of truth and encouragement in these times. So thank you. And I just want to hear a bit more about it, really. Where did the song come from? A bit of the story of the song.
Wow, I mean, it's crazy. When I wrote that song, I was actually living in Germany. So we lived in Germany for a while, and moved from England to Germany, and we were in a transition period actually. And so at that time, we knew that living in Germany was just temporarily, and then God started shifting things, and in terms of, when he's about to do something, there's just this. It's almost like you don't know if outward and physically and what's going on doesn't seem to match up with what's happening internally.
Yeah.
But God's shifting stuff, and so that started kind of happening, and we had a couple of opportunities either to stay in Germany or to move to the US, go back to England, but it felt like going back to the UK wasn't one of the options and stuff. So it kind of was like, man, staying in Germany, God, is this where you really want us? Or going to America, it just seemed like a big move after having moved family. So there was just a lot of uncertainty. We didn't really know. We're like, Lord, what do you want to do? And we can't really see a way forward, but we know that you're preparing us for something. And so during that time, I was doing a lot of traveling over to the US, and I would always come over to Nashville to write. I had for the last few years, obviously, I'd been kind of working with all these different artists and stuff, Chris and Matt Redman and all these guys, and just touring with them. But it's almost like God started giving me my own song as well, and so came over here, and I had a writing session with a couple of mates, a girl called Caitlin Clampett and Matt Armstrong. And, during that time, and before you always write, you kind of hang out and, chat and stuff, and I guess that's what just came to the surface when we were talking about just, man, just trying to figure out life and what God is doing. I don't know where to move and stuff, and I was just reminded of Zephaniah 3, 17, that says, the Lord your God is with you. He's mighty to save. He will take great delight in you. He won't rebuke you, but he'll also rejoice with you with singing,
Mm-hmm.
And so we were just like, man, it'd be good to write a song around that, like just saying, hey, even in the midst of when you don't know what's kind of happening and what's going on and life seems a bit chaotic and it's uncertain, man, God, you're still in charge, you're still reigning, you're still delighting in us. And even though we sometimes making, not really sometimes the best choices, but God, you're still sovereign, you're still over us, you're still kind, you're watching over us. And so that's where the song came out of, like, and we just kind of started like, God, I need to hear your voice in this moment. Because I don't want to move without you. I don't want to go without you. I don't want to stay without you, Yeah. And so it was just a time where I felt like, God, I just need to stop, like, and just, because you're always working, you're always speaking. So let me hear what you're actually saying, because you're always saying something, So And so, yeah, so that's what the song came out of. And, the song, God gave us that song, basically.
Brilliant. I mean, so, it works because it's truth. It works so many ways. It sounds like for you, it was kind of quite a directional thing. And it is, you're right. He's always speaking and we just need to sit and listen. But I think in the wider thing, just always declaring the truth of wanting to hear his voice in each moment for direction, but also over our lives. And so I really want to point people to this. So where's the best place to get hold of your song? And website-wise or platforms?
Yeah, so you can get it on YouTube. You can listen on Spotify. I've had the privilege to be able to release songs, in this last season. This year, I mean, not the best time to release songs, but also the best time to release songs. I think nothing ever happens by mistake. Like, I'm in terms of, when I say not the best time, everyone stopped touring, the world just shut down, and it feels like, we all know what's going on with COVID and just the pandemic. It affected everyone, and so I feel like just being able to release songs that carry truth and maybe can encourage people has been great. Just the feedback that I've got has been awesome. So, yeah, so you can find the song on YouTube, on all the different platforms, on Facebook, there's video there, Pandora, iTunes, like all the different, it's everywhere. And so, yeah.
Great. What other songs should we look out for? Just throw out some names of what you've done.
Yeah, so I've got a song called All the Power, and that song is just around the cross. It's about the cross, of the saving power of Jesus, and I wrote that with a couple of guys. We're talking about how they do a lot of prison ministry and stuff, and they'd seen just the amount of people getting saved in some of the American, there's some huge prisons over here in the US, and they couldn't believe just, how lives were getting transformed, by the power of Jesus, and just, broken lives, getting restored. These guys who were done, society tells them that, you're written off totally. But God, has a way of turning lives around, man, and just doing amazing things and restoring people. And they were saying, like, even some of the guys in prison, tithe more than some of in the church. And they're in a big church. They're saying, when you look at it percentage-wise, these guys just wanted to give everything, because of what Jesus had done for them. And so, that song, All the Power, came out of that. Like, again, just a conversation. And so it's around the cross, and so that's another song. And then there's a song called Ready, which is a kind of a vibey song, about just, wanting to be led by the Spirit of God. Lord, when your Spirit comes, I'm ready. I'm just ready for you to move. Take me where you want to take me. Lead me where you want to lead me, with confidence and everything. And so that's a song called Ready. And then I've got a song that I've just released last week, actually, called More of You.
Hey.
Yeah, it's, and again, that song is about surrender. Like in the world we live today, you know how it is, it's about self, about us promoting our own agenda, for me, it's a daily, like, I got to put myself aside, and I got to remember, hey, I'm not in charge yet, we want to be in charge. It's human nature. We want to be in control, but this song just says, less of me, Lord, and more of you. May I decrease that you increase, And I feel like when we live life like that, like, it's better because God knows what's best for us, and He wants to lead us and take care of us, and yeah. So it's a song of surrender. So it's called More of You.
Such great songs on guidance, songs on surrender, songs on power. I love it. And just hearing kind of your heart, you can see they're songs that have come out of an overflow of what's going on. So just want to personally thank you for the encouragement it's been to me, and I'm sure to so many others. Grateful that you put the time in, grateful that God's led you to this